What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. As you guys know, within Genfinity in our Hedera corner, in collaboration with HashPack, we are doing just tons and tons and tons of Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem and network interviews. And today, definitely one that I'm excited for, have Marcel, who is the co-founder and CEO of HashGuild, building out an amazing tool set marketplace for the Hedera community. So how are you doing today, Marcel?
Thanks for the invitation, and always a pleasure to talk to you, and also, speaking to the community and sharing our visions.
Yeah, so I mean, to give a little bit of an overview of HashGuild, I mean, can you talk kind of in general, like a summary about what HashGuild represents within the ecosystem, from a marketplace or staking or launchpad, or just kind of run the gamut for us so that the audience and community can learn a little bit?
Sure. So actually, our core vision, if we have to be more specific about it, is basically that HashGuild shall be the main NFT infrastructure provider on Hedera. We want to build a platform that actually aligns all relevant tools and services for both creators and collectors throughout their user journey, as we call it, more in like business terms. What that includes, obviously, a trading hub, so our marketplace is live, but we actually went, I think, since 1 month already past this marketplace only procedure. So we are currently delivering a launchpad plus a staking solution, and I'm not sure if probably some people will be aware, but we also actually deployed our smart contract for our permissionless minting tool. So we're also providing literally from NFT creation till the distribution of the utility of NFTs to the respective customer group, either creator and collector. And for us, it's like really important to have like this kind of one platform where you can literally find everything, because we know about this typical onboarding of new people into the ecosystem, Web 2 to Web 3, and where to start, where to stop, where to go ahead. And for us, it's just important to deliver a platform that really like sums everything up, and you find what you need on the platform.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, I think what we've seen within Hedera, even over the past year, not even past year, the past year has been amazing. The past 6 months has been amazing. The past 3 months has been amazing. I love the initiatives about not having kind of a piecemealed ecosystem and really trying to provide as many services and use cases for your audience, for user engagement and that user experience as possible. You talked about the launchpad and the staking aspects. How many projects, I mean, ballpark, have you guys had on the launchpad? I think I was on the site beforehand. From the staking aspect, it looks like you had 3 or 4 on there right now. Maybe go through who you've had on there yet, how many projects, and what that looks like so far.
So on the launchpad and our alpha, and combined with the actual beta version, I think in total we had right now 10 NFT projects minting with us through the launchpad, including, for example, OGX, HBOR Pandas, Wars and Wizards, Second Drop, Plum. So also really good art in there as well. So really appreciate that sense as well. Not only those big collection drops, but also having some unique art pieces in there. But that's just a personal note. And regarding the staking, we actually put it live, I think 4 weeks ago. And we obviously we started with our own NFT project, being like the alpha user, and also the testing group worked out perfectly. We onboarded directly Wars and Wizards. We also have the HBOR Pandas and kind of like close lineup, as well as I think the Wooks announcement also went already out. So they are next in line. And yeah, this is just the starting point.
100%. Can you give a little bit of a background? I mean, you mentioned Web 2 to Web 3. I mean, I guess from your standpoint, why did you start building in Web3? How long have you been in Web3? And then I always have to ask, I shouldn't have to ask, but I always have to ask, why Hedera? Why'd you choose to build on Hedera?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a nice story. So actually, my co-founder and I, we started building, this typical startup environment, or in the startup environment, um, a development agency, also like a gaming startup back then in Web2. And personally entered the overall Web3 space through NFTs on Ethereum. Made some trades over there. Yeah, not like the typical pump and dump. Also, like not getting completely clean over there as well. So it's you either gain money or you lose money. The spaces aren't that kind of different. So yeah, and we were over there, and we actually sat together, and besides having our agency, we both like kind of aligned to let's kind of hop on the train, but not just launching like an NFT project, but we also want to bring some kind of utility towards that. And we'd first, made a typical NFT project creation, the art, the story itself. And then we decided, this whole Web3 space is about giving control to users, to holders, to, the typical stakeholders. And, what better way to do it with actually a DAO voting on where the typical, interested people on minting your collection want to have your collection minted. And from there, out of nowhere, suddenly Hedera people, kind of conquered the voting and brought us over to Hedera. Back then, that was maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks before the drop, or the initially planned drop. We're like, oh, well, great. We don't know too much about the network yet. So, let's deep dive into what's happening over there. What's the current status in terms of, infrastructure, but also in terms of, the deeper connection to how, transaction fees, the overall vision of the general network, and, the general potential of the network. And we actually fell in love with it. Also coming from Ethereum network over to Hedera community, like really the OG community, everybody's super friendly. I mean, it's still the same, and it was super exciting for us. And we said like, yeah, that was actually a perfect decision to take. Happy to enter this ecosystem, and then we figured out, oh, okay, we launched our NFT project, and we were like, okay, marketplace. Wait, how does it work over here? And people back then were trading throughout Discord channels, and we are like, okay,
Yep.
this is not too exciting. So let's directly deep dive into building up a marketplace, and like all this infrastructure we made use of on Ethereum back then. And literally everything was existing on Ethereum, even actually 1 year ago,
Yeah.
with launch pads, with minting tools, with marketplaces, with analytics tools. Like everything was there, right? And we actually said perfect timing. Like we came from the kind of builder perspective. We always look for opportunities to kind of create value, and this was this kind of lights on, and let's move forward.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think a lot of people, especially like looking at Ethereum, they that network essentially having a 7-year head start as far as user engagement and user experience. But it's been really exciting to see how fast tracked the Hedera ecosystem, has become over the past year. I mean, like you were saying, it's night and day over the past year. And talking about, the different marketplaces that exist on Hedera, obviously, all boats rowing together to drive the network forward, providing more liquidity for these NFT projects, more liquidity for projects in general. What really differentiates, and I think you touched on it at the very beginning, but what differentiates HashGuild in relation to these other marketplaces right now from what you're seeing?
I think we have to cut this question in kind of different setups. So first point, as I already mentioned it, we're not just a marketplace provider. We want to be like this kind of go-to platform where you find the tools you are in need for. for creators as well as for collectors, right? That's the first part. I think that's a huge differentiator, especially when we're talking about our close connection to the projects we have onboarded. It's super helpful and super interesting to talk to them, to their needs. Like, you use the launchpad, your collection is live. So what's next? You talked about utility, how you're providing utility, and we have that in place. It's like an easy procedure for creators and that momentum, because staking launchpad is at the beginning, it's a creator tool, but also for the collectors, because they see something is happening with the project. Like, they're not just talking, they're executing, and we just help them execute their goals. This is the first part. Second part is, I think, what is still a little bit unknown is that we really believe in the decentralized and this complete automated ways. So, for example, we are not gating access to creators, to collections. We handle it like OpenSea, LooksRare, all the other marketplaces out there. You create a collection, you have an NFT in your wallet. If the collection is not registered in our marketplace at this moment, it gets through, fetching the NFT, fetching the collection, it gets displayed, not listed, it gets displayed on the marketplace, and everybody can see, like, how many NFTs are kind of registered under the collection and all those data points. So we're really closely working with the data we get from the network. And I think that's a super important point. And adding to this, I think what really differentiates us, it's, we started without the marketplace, right? We now have, I think, 3 major marketplaces out there. Of course, with Zeus being the front runner. But, trading, like buying NFTs, is one part. And what we realized is, looking at, for example, the offering or the bidding functionalities, our network still is far away from the opportunities other collectors receive on other networks. And this is, for example, why we also right now released the functionality or the feature that you actually can bid or make an offer on any NFT that has been registered on our marketplace. So what that means is, currently, I actually checked the numbers a few minutes ago, because I wanted to give an correct outlook on what's possible and what isn't. There are 300,000 Hedera NFTs registered on HashGuild. That means holders that have signed in with HashGuild own in total 300,000 NFTs. And actually, everybody can make an offer or make a bid on any of those 300,000 NFTs. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of the game. Because if you look into, I don't know, the Angry Barbeans, it's not just about, you see the listed NFTs, their floor price, and you can maybe bid on those who are listed, but you can literally bid on, I think right now it's 70% of their whole collection.
That's really cool.
And that's nice. I think that's the beauty of the game. We like to use all the data the network gives us. I think that's a really important point, especially, decentralization, transparency. We have the transparency. Why don't we use it, right? So I think that's one major point when you really talk about the marketplace. And of course, everybody with an NFT collection can just log in with their wallet and don't need to have any approval from our side. Holders can list it, can buy it, can sell it. Everything is possible. Of course, we also have a verification system, but that's on top. And those added services are currently 80% automated. So at the end of the day, it really needs, from our side, just a short check and a few clicks. to, you know, get this verifying button, or, you know, create this launchpad design for an upcoming mint. You know, like a lot of automations currently happening, and there will also be some cool updates coming. Especially I think at the beginning of January, I'm planning something over there, which makes it even more seamless, flawless, however you want to call it. And yeah, I think that's also kind of the vision of HashGuild, you know.